Let's talk about that moment. You know the one. You've got this absolutely brilliant product idea kicking around in your head, but getting other people to see it, to really get it, yeah, that's the tough part, isn't it? Today, we're going to look at how you can take that amazing, maybe kind of fuzzy concept and turn it into a crystal clear blueprint that your whole team can actually get excited about.
You know this feeling, right? You've got the vision. You can see exactly how it's all supposed to work in your mind's eye. But then you try to explain it, and you're just met with, well, blank stares. Or maybe even worse, a million questions that start pulling your idea in 100 different directions. It is, for sure, one of the biggest frustrations for anyone trying to build something new.
And before you know it, you're just trapped in what I like to call the idea maze. You're writing these huge, long documents that, let's be honest, nobody's really reading. You're stuck in these endless Slack threads that just go around and around in circles. And after hours of calls, you have that sinking feeling that everyone on the team has a slightly different picture of the idea in their head. Your original vision gets lost in translation, and the team just isn't on the same page.
It's pure chaos. But what if there was a better way? A really simple, fundamental step you could take before anyone writes a single line of code or designs a single pixel that could stop all this confusion before it even starts. You know, a way to build a shared understanding right from the get-go.
Well, that step has a name. It's called wireframing. Now, just think of it like this. It's basically creating a super simple, skeletal outline of your website or app. We are not talking about colors, we're not talking about fonts or any fancy graphics, not at all. The whole point here is to focus only on the structure, the user flow, and the absolute core functionality, the bones of the idea.
Somebody once called it the blueprint of the entirety of your user experience. And honestly, that analogy is just perfect. I mean, think about it. You would never, ever build a house without a blueprint, right? Of course not. You'd figure out where the walls, the doors, and the windows go first. A wireframe does that exact same job, but for your digital product. And when it comes to creating that kind of quick, clear blueprint, one of the best and most focused tools on the market is Balsamiq. It's designed specifically for this messy, early, creative stage of a project.
Its whole philosophy, its entire reason for being, is built around this one really powerful idea: clarity, not complexity. Because at the start of a project, when you're still just trying to figure things out, you don't need some overwhelmingly complex tool. What you need is a really, really clear way to talk about your idea.
You'll notice right away that it has this kind of hand-drawn, sketchy look. Well, that's not a limitation. That's the main feature. It is low fidelity on purpose. By stripping away all the visual stuff, it forces everyone in the room to focus on what actually matters right now. Does this layout make sense? Is the flow from one screen to the next logical? It encourages feedback on the big ideas instead of getting into arguments over what shade of blue a button should be.
All right, so how do you actually build one of these things? You might be thinking it takes some kind of special design skill, but honestly, the process could not be more straightforward. It really is this simple. First, you find a piece you need from this huge library of components. You know, things like buttons or login forms or menus. Second, you just drag it and drop it onto your canvas. And third, you can link different wireframes together to show exactly how a user would move from one screen to the next. And that's it. You've just visually mapped out your entire idea in, like, minutes.
Now, I know what a lot of you are probably thinking right now. Okay, wait a minute. Why would I use this when I have these incredibly powerful, high-fidelity tools like Figma or Sketch? And you know what? That's a great question. The answer really gets to the heart of the entire design process. See, the key thing here isn't about which tool is better. It's about which tool is right for the job you're doing right now. Low fidelity with a tool like Balsamiq is all about speed and communication. It is perfect for those early brainstorming sessions. High-fidelity tools like Figma, they're for later, when you need those picture-perfect visuals for user testing and final sign-offs. Trying to start with high fidelity is kind of like trying to paint the walls before you've even poured the foundation for the house.
And the benefits of starting this way are just massive. I mean, you can get ideas out of your head and onto a screen incredibly fast. It opens up the process so that engineers, marketers, even founders, people who aren't designers, can jump in and contribute. It keeps the feedback totally focused on what matters. And maybe most important of all, it saves a huge amount of time and money by letting you fix those big structural problems when they're still easy and cheap to change.
So at the end of the day, using a tool like this isn't really about drawing boxes on a screen. It's about cutting straight through the noise of that idea maze and building one single shared understanding across your entire team.
It's the fastest way to get from a complicated idea in your head to a clear vision that everyone can see and get behind.
So I'll just leave you with this question to chew on. When you're at the very beginning, trying to build the right thing, what do you really need more of? More complexity in your tools or more clarity in your idea? Something to think about for your next project.